Hello and welcome to another episode of Cat's Movie Corner, joined by our good friend Ernesto. How's it going?
I'm good. Got the media tower back there. Lonely, but mighty.
Yes, been an interesting day for movie news. A big bombshell just dropped today.
Oh, has there? I have not been paying attention. You'll have to fill me in.
Lucasfilm has announced. I wasn't going to mention this last week because there were a lot of rumors from less reputable sources, but it has been confirmed. Kathleen Kennedy has officially stepped down as head of Lucasfilm, and Lynn Brenwin, who's already been working in the company on the business side, will be co-president, running all the business side of things.
Mm.
And Dave Filoni will be promoted to co-president. He's already chief creative officer, but now he'll be running all the creative direction for the entire company.
Aha.
And I knew they were talking about how this was kind of in the pipeline. I was surprised that they didn't wait until after Starfighter in 2027 or the big, the 50th anniversary at Celebration to make the announcement.
Yeah.
I, for one, am not enthused with Filoni being top dog because I think he directs live action like animation. He's obsessed with the Filoniverse, obsessed with the nostalgia and playing things safe. And I genuinely believe that Star Wars needs somebody who's going to take risks. One of the things I was excited by when Kennedy first started there was that she was hiring all these directors that sounded like good directors that were going to do great stuff. But then their latest project would come out, and we parted ways. Oh, somebody else's project came out, and we parted ways, and it was this repeat pattern of just not trusting the talent they hired to take Star Wars in a new direction.
Yeah.
And so, while Mandalorian and Grogu and Starfighter will be still her projects, and Mandalorian and Grogu, for that matter, I assume was a Bob Iger thing. Like I'm sure because there was talk that there was supposed to be a fourth season of Mandalorian. But I think the same thing happened with that is what happened with Moana 2, where Moana 2 was going to be a streaming show, but Bob Iger, when he took over from Chapek, he's like, what are you doing? This first movie made $1 billion. It should be a movie. And he was absolutely right about that. And the
Did it?
sequel went on to make nearly
Did it make a billion the
1.5.
first one? I thought it made like 500, 600 something. Did it make a billion?
I think it made close. I thought it did. And maybe we could double check that. But
Yeah. I know it
I'm
came out in 2015.
2016.
2016, yeah, or just shy of it, because it was like I think I double featured it with didn't wasn't that the same weekend with Ralph? No, I'm probably confusing the year, but I know I double featured it with something.
Wreck-It Ralph, I think, was 2012, wasn't it?
Yeah, Wreck-It Ralph. No.
Oh no, you're right. You're right. Moana only made 687 million.
Okay. This
but
new one
he's,
made a
but he's
billion.
like that movie made so much money. He's like, we need to greenlight this as a movie, and I think the same thing happened with Mandalorian season 4. I think he's like, no, this should be a movie now. You need to. It's been like nearly 6 years since you've had a movie. You need to get something out there, and they just converted Mandalorian and Grogu and rushed that into the pipeline.
Yeah,
so,
well, at least for Mandalorian Grogu, they know how many Grogus they sold. They want to sell more Grogus.
Yeah, and what I'd say to Disney is that, you didn't have any new Star Wars material between 1983 and 97. 97 being the release of the special editions, which started a whole new merchandising push. But that didn't stop Lucasfilm from selling a ton of Star Wars merchandise in those years without there being content, to which I would say you don't have to shoehorn Grogu back into the story. You'll still sell plenty of Grogu stuff, no doubt.
Yeah, one of those creative decisions that I wish they would have at least held off at least 2 more seasons before bringing him back.
Yeah.
Actually give the Mando something to do other than protect the child, other than Yojimbo, other than Wolf Child and Cub, do something else.
Yeah, it's
maybe don't make the Boba Fett series shit while you're at it.
Yeah, and the Mandalorian season 3 just felt rushed, and the Acolyte, Ahsoka felt like it was being directed like animation again.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned Kathleen Kennedy's projects that never came to fruition. I believe somebody made a Reddit post of every single project that was announced, in development, and went nowhere, and it was like a rap sheet of projects. And when somebody puts it in context, you're like, oh God, I remember every single one of these. But you would think it's like a handful. No, this was like at least 15, 20 projects at minimum.
Yeah, and they were all projects I would have loved to see. But
yeah, hell, I still want to see that X-Wing fighter pilot
Rogue Squadron.
Rogue Squadron that
Patty Jenkins.
Patty Jenkins wanted to do based on her grandfather in the war. I would have loved to see that. Hell, they made a video game around that part of the universe.
Yeah, and that was in the video you could see all the passion that she had for it. That would have been a great movie. And
Yeah.
so what if
And I
Wonder
think
Woman
the closest
84 wasn't very good, you know?
the closest thing that we got to even something modestly close to getting into the deconstruction and psychology of the rebels, the Empire, is Andor.
Yeah, and that's another one of my fears is that it's known that Filoni really didn't like Andor. He thinks that's a bit off brand for Star Wars, which begs the question, would he greenlight another Andor type show or movie, even though he personally doesn't care for it? Because he always talks about in interviews about how George spent hours with him, really lecturing him about what Star Wars is and striking a particular tone for what it's supposed to be. And it's like Andor was great and showed all sorts of possibilities for the type of stories you could tell. Friend of the channel, Bunny and Snipe, opined that it felt like Andor had a lot of self censorship going on because they're trying to deal with these heavy issues, but still trying to make it family friendly. And it's like, yeah, push the envelope. Let them push the envelope further, you know?
I mean, I don't know how family friendly you can be when you're choking your girlfriend for everybody to see. And
Exactly.
I,
Yeah,
and I don't mean and I don't mean ha ha, you're choking. I mean, you better tell me what the fuck is going on.
right, right. And it's like, I feel that he's right about that. And Star Wars, it's like, imagine if the internet existed when Empire Strikes Back came out.
Oh, sweet Jesus, please.
Exactly. And it's like, and they wouldn't have gone through probably with the, I mean, admittedly, Return of the Jedi was a very safe movie by comparison, but they still did, George still did what he wanted to do with that one. But I still blame the internet for why the sequel trilogy went the way it did and the rushed release dates. But it's like, that's why I'm just kind of afraid. It's like, will Filoni greenlight stuff that he's not a fan of, or is he just going to say the Ahsoka movie, the Rebels movie, more Ahsoka? It's like, no.
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. Fingers crossed that it pays off. Glad that they have an actual business-minded person who's going to be co-president, who's already been at the company and knows how things work, and
Yeah.
rather than just
On its surface, I like the idea of a dual role of
Mhm.
business and creativity. Like you can work off each other and I like that. We're getting that with James Gunn
It, yeah,
and
at
Peter
DC.
Safran. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Superman. I am a fan of the potential of what can come out of this, but I like the idea of two people working off each other. It's like that doesn't happen very often,
Yeah.
and something good could happen. I mean, I can I say for certain that I have faith in Filoni? No, because he came, and I'm not saying that coming from animation is a bad thing. A lot of people came from animation,
Yeah.
transitioned to live action, and they did brilliantly. I just feel that he is more in the sandbox with the toys than what the toys cost, if that makes sense.
Yes, and like Brad Bird made the jump from animation to live action, did a great job.
Mhm.
I just feel Filoni directs like animation a bit too much,
Yeah.
and other teams of two you're talking about, like Pixar is run by two people, and Walt Disney Animation is run by two people,
Yep.
and then DC. So yeah, this is a common thread, but remains to
But
be
something good
seen
can
if
come
it
from
pays
it.
off.
Something good can come from it.
Yeah.
Maybe there might be a new motivation on Filoni's side that we might get to see. Maybe he might rethink, okay, maybe because I'm known for this, he might bring a new approach.
Mhm.
And whoever he's paired up with, be like, hey, I know how you are, but let's try something bold. Let's try
Yeah.
something different. And these two, in their capacity, they know just how kryptonite the fan base is right now with the franchise. So they know they're like they might not have to pay attention to the comment section, but they know it's radioactive.
Yeah. And hello, Lemon Pie. Thank you for coming. And DJ Play Nice, always thanks for bumping up our algorithms by liking and coming back to watch it. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Lemon says, "How many hot peppers does Cat award Harrison Ford in The Empire Strikes Back?" 5 out of 5, of course. Definitely. But yeah, is this my fear? Is this because Filoni's been there since like 2005, I think, because that was around when George started pre-production for Clone Wars, and he's just been so Filoni has been so aboard pushing Ahsoka for 20 years now. As
It's
I mean, yes, he
amazing.
did other things like he shepherded Clone Wars show, which was really great. Rebels was excellent, but he shoehorned Ahsoka into Rebels, and he used the world of Between Worlds. The first thing he used it for was to save Ahsoka, and it's like I was nervous because it's like a less disciplined person will use the world Between Worlds to try and retcon things they don't like. Hopefully that never happens. But it's like you've been pushing this for 20 years, this character, and it's like, come on, there's more to Star Wars than Ahsoka.
There's honestly, there's more to Star
Hang
Wars
on,
than
man.
the prequels, and there's more to Star Wars than the Skywalkers.
Yes.
And although I've never experienced them firsthand, a lot of people, before Disney came in, a lot of people died at the sword of the Old Republic.
Yeah.
Like, I've never played the games, but the cinematic trailers, the cinematic story trailers, are some of the best I've seen since Empire.
And and that's the new game they just announced, Fate of the Old Republic, which sounds like it'll be a sequel.
Yes, but the track record with the Star Wars games has not been lately, especially with the last two that came out. So we've
Uh,
seen it,
which
we've seen it promised before, but we've yet to see it deliver.
the Jedi Fallen Order and
Well, I'm not talking about Fallen Order. I'm talking
Survivor.
about the recent one, like the little not the bounty hunter girl. I don't know what she is.
Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, that one left a real big stain on the franchise.
Oh, yeah, I think it's a fun game. I didn't have a problem with that one.
Well, well,
I mean,
I'm only saying what I've read. Like I was gonna buy it, and then that thing went.
I thought the release date was odd that they put it out at the end of summer when kids are going back to school and everything. And it's like that's kind of weird. And I think it was one of those situations like we've had with a lot of games where you buy it, but they're still working on it, and so you have to get the rest of the game
Yeah,
by a
but
DLC later on.
that's something that I've been noticing a lot, and I know we're getting off track, but that's something I've been noticing a lot. That a lot of video games you buy them for a premium, and they're unfinished, and I'm like, why am I buying an unfinished game? Like,
Exactly. That's what I don't understand either.
like
They're rushing
what
release
I have
dates.
here. Here, this is gonna be off topic, but just as an example, this is a finished game.
I can't see it. What is it?
It's a Pokemon game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But it's a finished game. No DLC. The after story game is in the same thing. Thing costs between $40 and $50, and you get the whole thing. Not buggy. It's everything in there. Now, with with all the premiums and AAA games, you have these $60 to $70 games, and they give you the standard edition and the legacy edition,
These
and it's either still buggy or still unfinished.
these Nintendo ones I've been getting have the whole game on there. I'm so happy. Yes, they invent other DLC stuff if you want it down the line, but it's not the base
It's
game.
not
Everything is
essential.
on
It's
here.
not the priority, exactly.
And that's why I love Nintendo still, and I've gotten back into it. But yeah, that's something that I think that's part of what Outlaws suffer from. I mean, it's open world. Admittedly, some of the game mechanics weren't the best, but I didn't think it was bad. The good one that they put out in direct response to fan complaints about Battlefront 2 not having any starfighters in it was Squadrons. And they cranked that game out in like 2 years. It was priced only at 40 instead of 70, and it was a blast. You can
Yeah.
play as either the Empire or you could play as the Rebel Alliance, and they had 2 campaigns and co-ops and multiple. It was awesome. Uh, but yeah, so they can. I think they're kind of heading in a better direction now, but we'll see where that goes.
And I can't speak to the Fallen Order because I've Jedi Fallen Order
That's a good
because I
one.
only played the first half hour and I gotta get back into it. So once I do finish that game, I'll talk about it more. But I like what I was seeing. It
Yeah.
reminds me of the Force Unleashed. Now that was a great game.
Lemon Pie says, "I'll always remember the Emperor dying doing what he loved, firing Sith lightning at people."
Yeah, but he went especially hard at
Rip
Mace Windu.
Palpatine.
It says a lot about Palpatine.
Yeah, R.I.P. Palpatine. Yes. Another game, Star Wars game that's coming out in summer is actually Galactic Racers. And I've been wanting this for a long time. I'm like, wouldn't it be awesome if they did a pod racing game with modern graphics? And they're finally done it. And they teased Sebulba and aged Sebulba at the end of the trailer. I'm like, awesome, bring it. I can't wait.
I couldn't tell that he was aged. I think he looked exactly the same.
He looks a little older, but like
Well,
the
maybe
white
it was the
hair.
race I was looking at. All I just remember is whenever I see him, the first thing in my brain is Ichuta.
Yes. And the other piece of news is that people have been speculating that Dune and Avengers Doomsday have currently the same release date, December 18th.
Hmm.
And Avengers has obviously been really doubling down that they're going to keep the December 18th date. But it's been pointed out that there was a For Your Consideration screening of Marty Supreme last night,
Hmm.
and Robert Downey Jr. is moderating it with Timothy Chalamet, and they directly both called out Doomsday, the hype train. So it sounds like, since
They're
these things are obviously, the PR teams work with them, it sounds like maybe the studios are looking at Barbenheimer and saying, you know what? Let's leave Dune on that day, because Dune would be the one to move if either of them move. So it sounds like we're going to get Doomsday on December 18th after all.
which, by the way, I think I'm gonna have to take the day off from work just to go see both.
Yes.
So there is no way in hell I am going to be able to pull off a midnight extravaganza with those two. I mean,
Yep.
I believe I can. I just know the
Yeah.
show times are not going to allow it at all.
Right. Yeah. So that's the other piece of news, which is pretty exciting. Old Man Bird says, I love the Fallen Order and Survivor, but I still play Battlefront 2 at least 10 hours a week. Yeah, Battlefront 2 is still awesome, and there's still a lot of people online playing that game, and it is really fun. Uh,
I I haven't played Battlefront in over 15 years, but
oh, wow.
I never played it the way everybody else played. I played the PSP version of it.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
I always got it because when I had the PSP and I took it with me to school, I always got a kick out of when it was lunch break. I would always find a little corner where the security guard couldn't see me because you weren't allowed to have your electronics and they could get confiscated very easily. And I always found myself picking the Yavin 4 planets so that I can slice down Ewoks with Darth Vader.
Yes, it's awesome. And you can do that with the Ewok hunt on Battlefront 2. Old Man Bird says, you call this a diplomatic solution? No, I call it aggressive negotiations. But yeah, so that's new movies I've seen. I did see Song Sung Blue. Kate Hudson and Hugh Jackman were fantastic. The first half was pretty good. The second half felt like it was being a cheesy Hallmark movie, ticking all the boxes of just such a movie. And there were a couple moments where I'm like, bullshit, and I wanted to whip out. I fought the urge to whip out my cell phone in the theater to check, and sure enough, after the movie ended and I checked, no, they changed things for the movie to make it more cheesy and melodramatic. But
But I liked it.
okay,
It was good, kind of cheesy.
yeah, that's true.
Like even with the tragic thing attached to it, it really had a feel good vibe to it all
It did.
throughout.
Yeah, I gave it three. I'm teetering between a 3 and a 3.5 out of 5 for that one. Would you give it?
I give it a 3.5.
Nice. Oh, thank you, Old Man Bird. That's a
Yeah,
very generous.
I when I saw that movie, I think it was either before or after the holidays. I double featured it with Marty Supreme, and I watched Marty Supreme first, and then I finished with Song Blue, which I'm glad because I needed something to cleanse the palate and walk away with a smile on my face, all things considered.
I did that
I've
double
already
feature
expressed to
yesterday.
Catherine that I was not a fan of
I,
Marty Supreme, the character, but I liked everything around it.
I did that double feature in reverse yesterday.
Oh, well, of course.
I'd already seen Marty
Okay,
Supreme, but
but you like Marty Supreme, so it works
yeah,
differently for you.
yeah. Thank you, Old Man Bird. That's very, very generous. $20 super sticker there.
I'll
Uh,
take that for $1.
I can't see what the sticker is though, because for some reason on my StreamYard Live it does not say, or doesn't. It says super sticker. It doesn't show what the sticker is. I don't understand why that is. I don't have the command of the separate YouTube thing to see what it is, unfortunately. But this is awesome.
You got the con?
Huh?
You do not have the con?
I do not have the con for or maybe if I had a separate thing open, but let me see. Lemon OMB cat and dog. Dark 130. Nice to see you. Oh, I dig that little avatar picture you got there. Oh, thank you very much, member. Earned as usual. Lemon says, "What is Cat's cut? Is there a YouTube minimum wage?" I don't get a cut because the money goes to keeping the lights on at StreamYards and paying for our StreamYards account, because StreamYards did raise their prices last year.
Yet
Uh,
somehow we both come back with new steelies to show off.
we do.
We run
Uh,
on
a
credit,
video
blood,
controller saying "woot." Okay, yeah, that's a cool sticker, Bird. That's nice.
woo!
All right. I
Before we
believe.
start, let's do a
Okay.
little trivia for the peeps. I have something very old but very fun,
Mhm.
and it's called "Obsessed with Hollywood." Test your knowledge.
Ooh. Oh, that's right. We were gonna do the trivia. Yeah.
Yes, and so I pick a random trivia question. If Kat can answer it, great. If not, we will see the answer together because this is, after all, an interactive experience.
It is.
So we're going to, out of the 2,500 questions we are presented with, we're going to go to question number 926. And the
Mhm.
category of Oscars, since they are around the corner, for which of these films did director Leo McCarey not receive an Oscar nomination for Best Director? Is it A, My Son John, B, Love Affair, C, An Affair to Remember, or D, My Favorite Wife?
I'm gonna level with you and say I never heard that name before, but for the purposes of trivia, I'm guessing it's going to be An Affair to Remember, because that's a movie everybody seems to love, and I just thought it was a bore fest. But everybody says great things about that film, so I'm just going to pick An Affair to Remember.
Correct! It is An Affair to Remember. Join
Yes.
us next time for question number 1934. What that question is, you'll have to find out.
Okay. Yes, that movie. My issue with that movie is that for like the first hour, there's no hint of conflict or where the story's going. It's like boy meets girl. They're on the Riviera. They're dating, and it's like, ugh, I'm falling asleep. Nothing's really happening, and then it gets really melodramatic in the second half. And some of those songs sung blue where immensely tragic things happen, but it just the road to get there was like, and I was like, I'm sorry, I just didn't like that movie. And everybody, I remember I was invited to a film club that these senior citizens were members of in town, and we actually did an Oscar watch party there in 2024 when Oppenheimer won, and they invited me to come back for another their film go. And I said, "What's your next month's film?" And said, "An Affair to Remember." And he was so eager about it. He's a really nice old man. He's showing me his film collection, and I'm impressing him with all my knowledge, and he was really excited. But I couldn't bring myself to talk. I wasn't going to bring myself to lie to them about how much I didn't like that movie, so I didn't go back. And but yeah, that was a funny story. Uh,
Yeah.
oh, thank you, old man Bird. Damn, good job, Cat. And I now owe money since I got one wrong. Lemon pie. Oh
Well,
yeah,
it's not
lemon pie
funny to
guessed
me,
my
so
son
you don't owe
John.
me jack shit.
Another thing I have to say is not only did I not know who that director was, I didn't know any of the other titles besides An Affair to
Well, wouldn't it? Isn't that kind of like the perfect question for the videos we're doing now?
Remember. It is.
And
All right,
all of a sudden, the pile grew by 3 movies.
all right. And oh, people in the chat, tell us your movies that maybe share one once with us a week. A movie that you've never seen, which you feel you probably should have seen a long time ago. Uh,
I promise I won't shame you because we're gonna get shamed to each other.
we are going to get shamed with each other. All right, I
So
guess you want to go first, or
I'll go first. You went first last time,
all
and
right,
we're
yeah.
only doing one today because
Oh, one. I brought two, but that's okay.
oh yeah. Well, I only did one because time constraints, and
Right.
the one I wanted to do originally was a pretty lengthy one, and I
Hmm.
couldn't find the time to watch it, so I decided to choose a 90-minute one.
Okay.
Well, 2 hours, but cut
Yeah.
the stuff, and it's like 90 minutes or so. And it is a movie in it of itself is not a controversial movie, but the powers behind it are not without controversy. The kind of controversy that everybody in Hollywood knows controversial, yet everybody in Hollywood gave a standing ovation on live TV for the world to see, and they never stopped getting shit for it. And continuing the the continuity of Jack Nicholson movies, this one, as I like to say, what can I tell you, kid? When you're right, you're right. And when you're right, you're right. That is Roman Polanski's Chinatown.
Mm-hmm.
First time seeing it, can I just say for a moment that I grew up watching Jack Nicholson as an old man in the past 30 or so years since I started watching movies. And I am still not over every time I see him as a young man. And I mean young, because bro, like when I started watching him, it was like post A Few Good Men. So it's just like, good lord, man. You were young, you were skinny, you were alive and vibrant, but that smile always stays large and villainy. And movie is set in the 1930s. He's a private investigator. He usually always investigates spousal drama. Someone's cheating on someone, so you know that's his job. And along the way, he comes across the CEO of a water company in LA, and his wife comes in to hire him for the job. I believe my husband is cheating on me. So he does his due diligence. He follows him all over town. Kind of a weird tale because the idea is for him to kind of like catch him in the act. But basically, Jack Nicholson plays Jake Gittes, and he has to follow Mr. Mulray. He's the head of the water company that kind of, in LA, they control where the water goes, how it's used, how it's preserved. And this is LA in the 30s. The movie came out in 1976.
74.
74, and it's set in the 30s, and it's shot and it's edited like it's a movie from that. It even starts like a movie from the early 1900s with like the big orchestra introduction, the title, the credits already in the beginning and stuff like that. Very minimum music. The music only comes up by, I think it was Jake Goldsmith. He did the soundtrack or the score. So he's following him, and really not much to it until he gets details. Oh, we saw him with a young woman. They take pictures, and all of a sudden, the picture, unbeknownst to him, ends up in the newspaper, and it's a scandal. And back in the 30s, that was a big scandal. And this is back in the time that you don't see this most of the time, kids, but back then you could smoke indoors. Back then, calling a woman abroad was scandalous. Back then, people would condescendingly grab their cigarettes and go like this. Back then, when people shot their guns, they went like this. Back then, everybody wore a nice press suit for everything.
Yeah.
And a hat, a nice fedora. Why don't you? And he is a man of principle. You might not agree with the job he does, but he makes an honest living, and he'll tell you, or he'll take you outside and beat the fuck out of you. And then all of a sudden, there is a conspiracy. Mr. Mulray is found dead near the water. Ooh, in a drought? Really? Somebody drowned in a drought? Okay. And then it's all about conspiracy, a mystery, a thriller, psychological thriller. Who's cheating? Who's doing what? Who's paying off who? And the entire time I'm watching the movie, I'm thinking to myself, very literally, the movie's called Chinatown, but we're not in Chinatown, are we? And even though the movie does end in Chinatown and everything goes tits up, basically, at the end, I actually had to go online and be like, why is the movie Chinatown called Chinatown? Is it a metaphor? And sure enough, it is a metaphor. It is a metaphor for lawlessness. It is a metaphor for power and how it corrupts the underbelly of the city, and how all the powerful people will do anything to maintain that power. And this is in an era where even judges, lawyers, and cops, as history has taught us, are no different than the criminals they try to put away. I liked it. I liked the mystery aspect. It reminds me of those those HBO miniseries that they would do, that it was just like a big mystery and they always set up. It's like a true detective in a situation, you have the mystery and you're trying to figure out exactly how this all ties together. You might figure it out early on, you might not, but you're in it for the ride. Why is this
Yeah.
person being killed? I was very invested. I wanted to know, why was Mr. Mulray killed? Why this whole thing about the wife, but if we find out that it's not the wife, it was a hired woman pretending to be his wife to get him in, to get him compromised in a position that might bring him embarrassment, because again, he is a man of prestige and stature, and if you are caught in a scandal today, you can brush it off and nobody gives a shit, but back then, oh, clutch them pearls, why don't you? So I liked it. I didn't love it, but I liked it. I liked the pacing of it. I liked how every 10 minutes there's a new mystery to it. There's a reveal. And I recommend it if anybody wants to likes Jack Nicholson. I don't really at this point don't care that it's made by Roman Polanski. I'm sure a lot of people will throw a hissy fit over it, but I decided to just go with the tried and true. Just look at the art. Don't worry about the artist and stuff like that. I didn't get a chance to listen to the commentary because, as I said earlier before we went on, that I just finished watching it, so it's still fresh in my mind. Um, but one thing that I liked that you don't see very often in the movie, he gets threatened by some goons, and they're telling him, "Be careful where you're sticking your nose; you might end up losing it." And someone grabs a knife, sticks it in front of his nostril, and slices it open. And I liked how they did it, like right there. You can tell that the blood just shot out, so that it can seem like he actually cut him.
Yeah.
But he is wearing,
Oh, and that was Polanski with the knife doing that.
yeah, it's like he's wearing the bandage, everything for a good chunk of the movie. It's not until the last 15, 20 minutes that he takes it off and you see the stitches. But by today's movie standard, that is almost unheard of, that you're kept covering your main star's face for that long, because he looks ridiculous. He
Yeah.
looks very stupid throughout the movie. Just his whole nose is just like this, like, ma'am, ma'am, I like my nose. I like my nose very much. He doesn't sound like that, but he might as well sound like it's his nostrils airway is being covered. I'm just fascinated by, wow, nobody told Polanski to reshoot all that and make it look smaller. No, they kept it in. They committed to it, and I appreciate that. If I were to rate it, I give it like a 3.5 out of 5, just for what it was trying to accomplish, just for that old school feel to it. Even though it's a movie from the 70s, it did carry that. Um, what's that? What's that show? You remember that show that came out around the same time with a lawyer? It's a lawyer character.
Not
Um,
Matlock, right? No.
no, not Matlock. I'm trying to figure it
Bojack?
out.
No.
Here, I'm looking it up right now.
Lemon Pie says he hasn't seen Chinatown either, so you're in good company.
No, you're fine. I'm just trying to. I think it's a recency right now because it reminds me of a show that was on HBO. I think it only lasted like 2 seasons, or maybe they're doing another one, but it's going to take a while. I believe it was a remake of an old show, and I believe it's
Oh, this
called
is something new.
Perry Mason. Perry
Oh, a
Mason.
new one. Okay, Perry Mason.
Yeah,
Okay.
it was a remake of the old Perry Mason. So this reminded me of Perry Mason.
Mm.
And I always like seeing this type of genre in a very, very, very old set, away from cell phones, away from Wi-Fi, the internet. It's bare bones. It's very old school. You have to go to the Hall of Records to
Yeah.
investigate shit. I like that because it's very tangible. You see people actually working hard to figure this mystery out, and you're going along with it. Even the camera is positioned behind Jack Nicholson most of the time because you're basically following him on this investigation. So I give it a 3.5 out of 5.
Yeah, Old Man Bird says he only read the Mad Magazine version of Chinatown. It was a huge hit when it was young in the 1970s. Yeah, that's still a movie everybody raves about today. But Lemon Pie also says it's known, though, even to people who haven't seen it, that he's got the nose bandage. and that's part of it because it makes him all the more recognizable. It's like, oh yeah, that's the movie with the guy with the nose bandage.
Well, I found out today when I was today years old that he was the man with the nose with the bandage. I'm thinking, dude, you're giving the Elephant Man a run for his money. What the hell?
Yeah, I only saw that movie within the last like, oh no, I saw it I think 15 years ago, and I'd just forgotten that I'd seen it 15 years ago, and I didn't like it that much because I didn't think there were enough moving parts to the mystery. Like I thought the pacing was a little slow. And it's like, come on, let's get this going here because I'm kind of figuring it out. And I thought that you know they almost made the farmers seem like they were more hostile, where the John Huston's the actual bad guy. And I felt that the entire incest twist in the third act was something that the screenwriter probably went, this guy isn't really seems that evil. Maybe we should throw something in there to make you hate him. I'm like, wait a minute, time out, time out. If the villain's evil plan as it relates to the mystery isn't evil enough for the audience to hate him, that you feel the need to throw in an incest twist, maybe you should go back to the drawing board and reframe this story to make it seem like he's already evil for what he's doing, instead of portraying the victims, the farmers, as being so hostile.
Hey,
But no, they threw in this really random incest. I'm like, what are you doing?
well, I'm sure HBO would have loved to have gotten their hands on that.
Oh, I'm sure they would have.
Wait, incest? Say no more.
Yeah, and then the irony of it again being called Chinatown is if Chinatown's more corrupt than the rest of LA. It's like, are you kidding me? It's like, uh, so it was.
You know who I was surprised seeing in the movie?
Hmm.
What's his name? I always know his face, but his name always escapes me. He was the butler in the movie.
I have to look that up. It's been a while.
I'm looking for his name right now because, yeah, James Hong.
Oh yeah.
He was the butler. I'm like, hey, I know you. Like, I always like just seeing, like, before they were well known or before you were able to recognize them. I'm like, hey, it's you.
Yeah. So yeah, I gave it 3 out of 5, and I think that's because also it just felt too long with the pacing at 2 hours 10 minutes. Because usually a noir is convoluted, or if there's a lot of stuff going on. And that one, I just thought they could have done a little bit more. I just didn't ever really get that engaged with it. I wanted to, and because part of it is that it's cool seeing young Jack Nicholson, but I didn't think his character had much personality. I was kind of like, eh.
I agree.
And I thought they maybe could have made him a bit more entertaining. But yeah, that's Chinatown. Lemon Pie, I will not answer your earlier question. He also says, I've never seen American Pie, but it looks stupid. Am I wrong? Is it indeed a masterpiece? No.
As someone who that's part of my generation, I'm not gonna call it a masterpiece, but I am gonna call it what's the word I want to look for? You had to be there. Let's put it that way.
Yeah,
like you had to be there. You had to be in the right mindset, the right spot in time to really connect with that movie. Watching it now, it's like a time capsule of how raunchy comedy was done when that movie came out.
Yeah.
It's like watching Superbad for the first time. You had to be there at the age you were when it came out because I connected with Superbad because I was in high school when that came out, and it was hitting on all cylinders with McLovin and all that shit. It was hitting on all cylinders.
Yeah, I remember when American Pie came out and everybody was talking about it. It was the movie kids were passing around at slumber parties. And I watched it, and yeah, it is incredibly stupid, but it was still pretty funny.
But it worked.
It worked. And then they decided.
And it's one of those very below the line franchises that had so many spin-offs. It has sequels and spin-offs.
Yeah.
And I swear every single year there was a new American Pie spin-off.
Yeah, usually it was the band camp spin-off
movies. Exactly, the band camp. And then you always had like the sibling of the main character.
Yeah, it was just getting ridiculous.
I'm just like, what in hell of inbred nation am I watching in here?
Yeah, it's like one of those raunchy.
He always showed up as a cameo in most of them.
Yeah, and it was like R-rated, but they didn't really lean into the raunchiness as much. Like they imply it, but they never show anything about it, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, so I think the last one I saw of the spinoff was they had this competition where it was kind of cool in a way. It reminded me of one of those early Jackass stunts where the dare was they had like this 6 barrel, and the barrel guns were like this long and this thick, and then like a green gun, and there was like a 6 barrel shooter where they had to like put it in their mouth like Russian roulette, and they basically have horse semen in the bullet, and
Yeah.
it's one of them. So they had to put it in their mouth and go, all right, shoot it. And if it's empty, pass it along. And if you hit it, then you lose. And all of our going like, ah! Because nobody wants to shoot their mouth full of horse semen. That's
Yeah.
the point. But when they actually have to pull the trigger, it's like the most intense. We're just like, ah, ah, ah!
Yeah, and then the other thing that the original was is like, Stifler and his crush on or no, not Stifler, but the other Stifler's mom.
Yeah,
Which
they had
is
a crush on
stupid.
Stifler's mom, and then Stifler got his revenge with, by the way, Rebecca De Mornay. Mwah.
Yeah, and
Like, they
was it?
really drove that home the way they drove Stifler's mom in the corner.
Yeah, and Jennifer Coolidge is Stifler's mom, which is why you had that stupid subplot thing in the Minecraft movie because it's like
Yeah,
she's been kind of playing roles, poking fun at the whole Stifler's mom thing forever, which is where that
but
comes from.
that's her. That's the role everybody knows her for.
Yeah, I know it
Yeah,
is.
you're Stifler's mom.
Lemon Pie says it sounds even more stupid now. It's like,
Yes,
yeah, it
yes,
is.
but lemon pie, you're missing the point. It's stupid, but it's good stupid.
But he's also right. You had to be there when it was
But
going
you
on to
had to
see.
be there. It
Yeah,
really is a product of its time, and you had to be there.
like not another teen movie with Chris Evans, and he's standing there with all the whipped cream and the cherries over
Yep.
his. It's like you had to be there to see this
Like,
type of
that's your
stuff.
Captain America, folks. All right,
Yeah,
it happened. You can't escape it. I'm even surprised Deadpool didn't go hard with that reference. It was right there. You could have gone for it.
I know.
But hey, there's still hope. There's still hope.
Yeah. All right, so now it's my turn to go. Uh, it today being the 79th anniversary of the Black Dahlia murder, I decided I should also go with a noir type film.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, set in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
This is a neo noir. It is from 1995, and it starred one of the all-time goats, Denzel Washington. It's called. Do you have a guess, Ernesto? What the title was? If you've seen it,
Go. You go first before you go.
Devil in a Blue Dress.
Ooh.
Uh,
You
the,
know, that might be in the pile somewhere. So.
yes, directed by Carl Franklin. Uh,
Mhm.
Denzel's great as he always is. Don Cheadle has a scene-stealing performance, one of the best I've seen him in anything at all. And the plot concerns it's post World War II. Denzel plays Ezekiel Rollins, goes by Easy, and because of post-war racism in LA, he's having a hard time finding a job. And along comes Tom Sizemore as a tough guy, and he offers him a job. Yes, uh, and he offers him this gig. He says, there's the LA mayor's races going on, and one of the candidates, the odds-on favorite to win the election, has dropped out because his fiance has disappeared, and he's really depressed. Can you help find her? And we know you're really good. You could be good at this. He's like, okay. And of course, you could sense that this is probably a setup of some kind.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, we find out that the rival mayoral candidate, also has his interests in fighting this person. And it's sort of how he quickly Denzel gets in over his head with a political scandal where one candidate was trying to blackmail the other over certain types of scandals to get people to drop out of the race, and she's the mystery woman, the devil in the blue dress, is the one caught in the middle. Somewhat of an ironic title, not to push into spoilers, but it deals with race relations, but in an intelligent way, and in a good way. It's not like preachy. It was actually a pretty good movie. Uh, Yes, yep, Carl Franklin, yep, Denzel, they're behind the scenes directing. Uh, this just got a 4K release on Criterion. I don't have it, but I heard that it was a really good transfer. It was shot by Tak Fujimoto, and he did that thing with the cinematography where you have that halogen-like effect, where you know how
Yeah.
you watch movies like from the 90s and they want a flashback from the 40s and they add this really bright kind of halogen. It just looks kind of surreal.
The Criterion version.
Yeah, that's the Criterion version there.
Yeah.
And so he made it look it had this kind of filter on it that made it look a little dreamy while I was watching it. Uh, I liked it, but like a lot of noir films, it has a very convoluted plot, so pay attention. It's not a movie where you could be scrolling on your phone while the movie's
Yeah.
playing. Tom Sizemore was great doing his Tom Sizemore thing. Denzel's always good. It was fun. I don't know why it's taken me so long to see this movie. The actress who played the titular devil in the blue dress, Jennifer Beals.
I know
Uh,
her. I definitely know her.
yeah, I haven't seen her in too much. So it's like okay, she was like drop dead gorgeous in this movie.
She
Uh,
still is.
yes, so it was great, and it's like you see Don Cheadle in this, and he plays Denzel's buddy Mouse, who kind of a rough and tumble kind of guy from his hometown back east, and he calls him in to help him out when he's in over his head, but he's worried about asking for his help because he knows that his buddy Mouse is a bit trigger happy and a bit gangster like. Uh, I remember Don Cheadle played a comical version of such a character on an episode of The Fresh Prince of Bel Air once when he comes to visit Will from
He
Philly.
and, when he and Hillary Banks hit it off right away,
Yes,
and
and
everybody was like, "Ah!"
yes, this being a much more serious version of the same idea, where a guy from a rough and tumble neighborhood comes to help out for lack
Yep.
of a better term, the more square guy between them.
Can I
But
just say that it's funny you brought this movie up because we were just talking about Dave Filoni and
mhm,
the state of Star Wars, and Miss Beals was in the Book of Boba Fett as Gersa Fwib, the Twi'leks.
that's right. Okay, I was
And
trying to
again,
replicate.
that woman has aged phenomenally.
Yes. So that was a really good movie. Hour 41 minutes. Really nice pace. I'm like, yeah. Why did I wait so long to watch this? I love noir films. I highly recommend it. Uh,
That's cool.
but
I like that we both somehow chose the same genre for today without even realizing it.
they did. Uh, Now I did choose one other movie because I thought we were doing two, and I did literally just finish watching this movie, and it could
Okay.
get a big reaction and will be worth it.
Oh boy,
Uh,
here we go.
okay, so this
I'm
is
ready. I'm ready.
okay. It's from the 1970s.
Okay.
It is a very famous horror film, and it set a director off on a path that it instantly made this guy's career and sent him off on making all sorts of great movies up until around 2006.
I am not
When
nervous.
ironically, his film The Black Dahlia, which I'm going back to that, came out and
Oh
flopped, and that
boy.
was the last time he got to do a big movie. Ernesto, do you know which movie I'm talking about?
I I might, but I'm gonna let you say it just to make sure we're on the same page.
I can do you one better. Carrie. Scowie.
You know, the first time I saw that movie was when they did the remake with
Mhm.
Chloe Grace Moretz. That was the first time I saw it,
Okay.
and I ended up liking it very much. And my disappointment in the remake was like vibrant because I had just seen the original. So when I saw the remake that same weekend, I was like, "What the fuck am I watching? Seriously?" Like,
Uh,
but wow, you've never seen Carrie.
no, and I think it's because I think I was watching one of those shows like, Bravo's Scariest Movie Moments or something like that decades ago. And it's like they spoil the ending and they tell you the story. And so because it felt like I knew the story, I just never got around to it. It's like, this is the one where those bitches just bully the hell out of her and then she gets the telekinetic powers and her mom's crazy. And
Yeah.
I just kept putting it off. And I'm like, am I really interested to watch that? But then I got a deal on the Stelia a few years ago, actually. I didn't get around to watch it. I'm like, look at how awesome this back
That
cover
is
is
an awesome story.
of everybody burning to death inside the prom.
I don't think I bought that.
It's a 3-disc set. It's got a 4K, a Blu-ray, and then a bonus disc Blu-ray. So I got the disc in the player right now, so the other two are in there. But and I forgot, John Travolta's in this. I didn't know that. I'd never heard that
Yeah.
before. He's like, wow, really young John Travolta.
I think around that time I was watching some of Travolta's early movies. I think I watched Carrie, and I
Mhm.
think I saw Saturday Night Fever. Was it?
Yeah.
I did not like Saturday Night Fever only because everybody in that movie seemed to be a complete asshole, and I don't mean asshole like, oh, you're not. No, I mean like somebody should arrest you, kind of an asshole.
Oh yeah.
I was like, ugh,
Oh
geez,
yeah,
this
like
movie
this
really is a
movie
time capsule.
with Carrie, it's a bit of a time capsule too. It definitely has
Yeah.
what you call the male gaze. Like the beginning of the movie, they pick on her because she loses the volleyball match, and then they go into the locker room, and for no reason whatsoever, he decides to have this really like slow motion tracking shot through the whole locker, showing all these naked girls getting dressed and dancing around. I'm like, okay, this is clearly, and the fact that they're high school kids makes it really
Yeah,
creepy.
yes, yes, thank you. I was about to bring it up. I
And
remember
it's
when I
like this
saw
is,
it. I remember when
uh,
I saw it, I'm just like, whoa, 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 whoa. We're in high school, right?
yeah, and it's like,
And I know they're not high school kids. We're
right,
just
yeah, they're in
telling
their
you they
20s or
are
whatever.
not high school kids. But because you're watching it set in high school, it's kind of like we had the discussion a few years ago. Where isn't it weird that we're watching shows even by today, modern teen shows? We're watching modern teen shows, and the teenagers are constantly having sex. We know they're not teenagers; they're adults, but they're constantly having sex on scene. Is it wrong that we're watching teenagers having sex on TV?
Yeah, it's like, but in those movies, they kind of get away with it, like in Scream or whatever, because they don't have all the raunchy nudity and stuff.
But
Whereas this was just,
still, and that's
I
a
know it is,
social
it is,
and that's a social worker. When you really look at it, just like,
but
damn, that has not aged well. That has not aged well. No, no.
yeah, this was just, I'm like, this isn't right. And then they pick on her immediately, and I forgot that PJ Souls was in this movie because I of course know her from playing Linda in Halloween,
Mhm.
and she's one of the bullies in this one. And I was surprised that for the longest time I was under the impression that just about everybody in the school kind of hated her, but it turns out that's not the case. Most of the people were fine when she won prom queen and happy, but in her mind, once the prank happens, she's just completely sees everybody as if they're laughing at her, even the teacher who was looking out for her. And then the two dipshits hiding under the stage, and it's like, I hate that girl. I'm gonna get, And I'm like,
All it takes is one bad day.
yeah, exactly. And God, the mother was just a batshit crazy. Like, her religious mania is getting to the point of mental illness. The way she's just abusing her kid and all this, and when she gets back and tries to murder her for going to prom, and I'm like, really? I'm like, you're just that evil.
And
Uh,
and that and that archetype of the character spun off a lot of copycats down the line. Uh, hell, even to an extent, you can most iconic horror slasher movies have the same type of mother
oh
in
yeah.
later years.
Oh, for sure. Oh, this is funny. Lemon pie. He says back in those days, if the camera came across a woman undressing and had to slow down, it was the law.
He's not wrong, people.
Yeah, he's not wrong. Oh, that's funny. Oh, Lemon also says number one use of telekinesis survey says. Okay, yeah, that was pretty good. But yeah, I'd say overall it was a little. The first half was really good, but once you got about an hour into it, when they get to prom, that's when the movie kind of slows down a lot because they drag it out, especially when she's on her way home and she gets to the house. I'm like, okay, it's going and going. And for some reason, I thought in my head mistakenly all these years that the girl who goes to the grave or the former side of the house and gets when Carrie reaches up and grabs her. For some reason, I thought that was the lead bully for some reason, and it's not. It's the other girl who was like trying to help her or whatever. And I'm like, oh, William Katt's in this movie too. He was the runner up to play Luke Skywalker,
Yeah,
and I couldn't figure out why he was going along with the thing because it's like you could tell he wasn't really into the prank. He didn't really want to do that. Like we're just trying to help her, but you could kind of suspect something was going on, and even he was taken aback because they didn't tell him what was going to happen. Because when he gets splashed with the blood and then gets hit with a bucket, it's like what the hell. So that was a bit, I'm like, okay, that was a little kind of funky. Oh yeah, Lemon, yeah, PJ Souls of Stripes fame, yes. Uh,
yeah.
so this is a movie that's been made a lot, and word is Mike Flanagan, who's been doing really well with Stephen King adaptation, is going to do Carrie next because he feels that in the modern age of cyberbullying and things that it could be good to do it. And I'm thinking, okay, the technology has changed, but it sounds like it would just be the same stories. They've made Carrie several times already. It's not just that one
Yeah,
remake.
and the last one that they remade, there I think it was what, in 2011?
Something like that. Let me see here.
Like a section in that remake where the cheerleader, I think she was a cheerleader, the head bully girl, she records her kind of like bullying her. Like I think she was either naked or in the bathroom, or like she was having her period or something like that.
Mhm.
She records her, and she posted online. Now, this was 2011. Even though social media back then is not the cesspool that it is today,
2013.
yeah, 2013, it was still a big deal to have your private or privates or anything be posted online, especially if you're in
Yep.
high school. And in the same movie, they not only address it, but it has a very healthy conclusion. Her father gets brought into the principal's office, and you're thinking, oh, he's going to be one of those big shot individual who's going to tell the school to knock it off. Do you know who I am? This is bullshit. No, they tell the father what she did, and the father sees what she did, and he looks at her. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? You
Yeah.
did what? And and you see the cheerleader going, it's like, oh come on, dad, really gonna take their side? And it's like, yeah, I'm taking the school side. What the fuck do you think you're doing? You better. He didn't say all that, but he's giving her the look of like, did you
Mhm.
seriously post this online? What the fuck is wrong with you? And you see her going like this. Oh my god, my dad is not on my side, and that's why she did the pig's blood prank in that remake, because fuck, look what you made me do. You made me almost get expelled or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's just like, you fucking bitch.
Well, yeah, in the original, it's that she gets barred from prom and decides that. And I was surprised too how the teacher, the PE teacher, when they're on the field, just totally slaps her upside the face a few times.
Oh,
I was like, "Shit."
it was very satisfying.
It was, and I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot that was the era where teachers and stuff could do things like that.
I wish they
Um,
could bring it back. Seriously.
yeah, it was and they also remade it in 2002 as well. So there's
Okay,
the
I didn't see that one. I only saw
yeah.
the second one.
So it's I haven't decided what rating to give it yet.
Did you see the remake? Did you see the Chloe Moretz?
No,
No? Okay.
I know that one was directed by Kimberly Pierce, so I take it probably doesn't have all the some of the cringe stuff that that
Yeah,
was in.
but there was that period in the 2010s where they were remaking a lot of these
They were,
classics. Remake Carrie, they remade The Thing. I mean, they made a prequel, but it was practically
yeah,
a remake.
yeah.
So, and then they remade, it was like 3 years before, like at the end of the 2000s, they remade Friday the 13th. I think Michael Bay produced it. Like
Yeah,
they took away this,
2009 with the
yeah,
Nimrod Antal, the same guy who directed, or not Nimrod Antal, Marcus Nispel,
yeah,
who directed the Texas Chainsaw remake.
yep. And then they also remade Nightmare on Elm Street with the, was it James Early? Was
Jackie
it
Earle Haley.
Jackie Earle Haley,
That was
who
awful.
what? Yeah, and he was famous for Rorschach from Watchmen.
Watchmen. Yeah, the
But
previous
after
year.
that, you never saw Jackie Earle Haley in anything after that remake. Just
Yeah, he was in Bad News Bears in '76, one of their sequels or whatever, and then Watchmen, Nightmare on Elm Street, and that was it.
that was it. I think he had a TV show, but that was not like nothing to write home about. And I
Yeah,
think he was the shortest guy that you can get to play uh Freddy, because
oh
there's
yeah.
a scene where he's standing next to the girl. I never saw the movie, but I saw a clip, and I'm like, what's stopping this girl from kicking you in the balls right now? You're so tiny compared to
Yeah,
her.
that remake leaned a lot more into the meanness of the pedophile angle, and it's like, okay, but you still need more of the dreamscape stuff, and it was just the dialogue was terrible, and it felt a bit tasteless, and yeah, I can see why that was not well received. I only saw that one for the first time like last year or the year before. Uh,
You know what they should do,
mm,
since everybody hates multiverse type of storytelling, they should make a multiverse of all the remakes and have the originals come in and kill their remakes.
that's
Have Robert England come in and kill Jackie Earle Haley's. It's like, this is my nightmare, bitch.
I'm surprised in the era of horror making a comeback and stuff that with them doing the rebooted Halloween trilogy and stuff like that, that they never got Robert England back to do another movie,
No,
especially how
no.
bad the remake was. Because it's like the last one he did was
He just got his star, you would think.
yeah, because the last one in the main series was New Nightmare, which was what '94, I think, and then you had Freddy versus Jason was the last time he played it in 2003,
Which is my
and
favorite.
nothing since then. And it's
That's
like,
my favorite.
yeah, that's
That
another
movie
one
is
which
so
I thought
terrible, but it's my favorite of the franchise.
it is a terrible movie, but I liked the concept of it, and the premises I thought was really good, but the execution was just, oh my god.
Yeah,
But
but again, you had to be there.
yeah, you had to be there when that movie
You
came
had
out.
to be there. The promo for that movie was like they were promoting a WWE fight. They were like bringing them in to do commentary. They were weighing them in. They were sticking them up
Yeah.
with the actors. It's just like, this is why I want to see the movie. Like, I don't give a fuck about what came before. Let me go see these two titans, Godzilla versus King Kong of the horror universe, go at it.
And for that matter, we also have Robert Englund to thank for Mark Hamill being Luke Skywalker, because Robert Englund was Mark's roommate, and he's the one who gave him the script, saying, or told him about it, saying, "Yeah, there's this movie they're kind of reading for. I don't think I'm good for the part, but you should read for it."
Oh my god. Going back to the Flash movie that came out a few years ago, I would love to see the universe where Robert Englund played Luke Skywalker.
God. Or the other alternate casting would have been William Catt as Luke and Kurt Russell as Han.
Yeah.
That would have been something.
So that would be a good idea for an animated show. Like, what if? You know how they do the Marvel What If? They should
Yeah.
do a Hollywood What If and just animate with good voice actors that sound like the actors to be like, hey, what if this happened? That would be a great
Well,
idea.
somebody's going to do it with AI.
Oh, I'm sure, but it's
Yeah.
one of those things. It's an
Yeah.
idea, I'm saying.
Oh yes, absolutely. Yeah, so that's so I still haven't decided on a rating to give Carrie, but I finally got around to watching it, and overall feeling is that it was well made, but I was expecting it to be, for a movie I put off for so long, I was expecting it to be a little better. I don't know.
I think that's gonna be one of those things that we're gonna be running into a lot. Like, we have these built-in expectations because
Mhm.
it's been built up so much that hell, there are movies that when we get to them, I'll tell you right now, I'm afraid to actually watch them and
Mhm.
say something negative about them because it's been hyped and hyped and hyped. And by the time I get to see it, I'm gonna be like, eh. I'm afraid to go, eh. I
I
haven't
did
done
that.
so. We're only 2 movies in. I
I,
mean, 3 movies in.
I did that with The Godfather. Famously, I watched it and I was like, eh. Uh,
You know, that was my reaction with the sequels. The first one was chef's kiss for me, but the
yeah.
sequels, I'm like, eh.
Oh wow, I'm the other way around. I love part two.
Oh yeah, Dan will never let me forget when I told him, eh. He's like, you shut your whore mouth.
Nobody in the Fantasmagorium chat will forgive me for not liking The Godfather. Scotty constantly goes on, because I gave Godfather 3 out of 5, and he constantly, anytime I rate a movie and give a mini review in the chat for something else, if I give it 3.5 out of 5, he's like, such and such is better than The Godfather.
Yeah, but he's Canadian, so what the fuck does he matter for?
Oh yes, he just had his drunken birthday party last weekend where he roasted Star Trek Into Darkness on Anti-Derivative Chill's channel for like 5 hours.
Steve did?
No, Scotty.
Oh, Scotty, for 5 hours he was roasting Into Darkness?
Well, they had a panel, and Jill had a slideshow and everything, and they did that for like 5 hours.
Wow, I'm surprised he made it through 5 hours without stop talking.
Yeah.
Did he have a cigarette break after his 5 hour rant of Into Darkness?
Oh, he has cigarette breaks during the videos. Even he's done
Oh,
that with me sometimes. Like, I'm gonna grab a cigarette. And I'm like, okay. Or he'd ask, "Is it okay if I smoke?" And I say, "Scott,
yeah.
you're in another continent. I don't care if you smoke."
So, can I propose a new approach to this thing we're doing?
Yes.
Do you still want to keep it a surprise or do you want us to make it interesting? Let's randomly agree on a genre, and of that genre, we'll look in the pile and see what we can find.
We could try that, and we'll see if we actually have movies of those genres on hand that's in the
Yeah.
pile. Otherwise, but that's something we could do. Yeah.
I'm gonna grab one right now that I'm looking at in the face, and I'm gonna make it my next movie. Okay, so let me see what the genre is for this.
Oh man, he says, "Cat is so sweethearted to have such a sweet spot for pure evil." Ernesto, pure evil. No, for pure to have such a sweet spot for pure evil. Ernesto, Cat, what do you want to see people say about you in your obituaries? Cat didn't give a fuck. I just went for it every time. What about
Okay.
you, Ernest?
What do you mean?
Well, he's asked, what do you want people to say about you in your obituaries?
You know, now you're making me think about what I want people. Um, huh. How can you sum me up in a sentence? I don't know. That's a good question. I'll leave it up to the chat. The chat,
Mm.
the chat knows you more than me, so they'll have
For a
to figure
second,
it out.
I misread his comment, and I thought he was saying pure evil Ernesto, but he says no, pure evil, and then exclamation point, and then asked us afterwards. I thought he was saying you were pure evil for not liking
Oh,
Godfather
no,
too. No, that's not it. But that was, but
I mean,
yeah, I'd say Cat went for it every time.
you literally called me a motherfucker in the first episode when you found out I hadn't seen The Shining.
I know. God, if I could copy. Here's the thing. So a friend of the channel, Naladoc, had a surgery the other day, and he posted this really sweet audio clip saying, "Oh, I think I've been friends with you guys for 5 years. I really appreciate it." Saying a really heartfelt thing, but then he ends it by saying some dig at me about me not liking The Godfather, and I said I was gonna respond to this with a heart emoji until you said that. I put the bird instead.
Okay, so do you have another movie in your pile that falls into the category of crime drama, mystery thriller?
I'd have to check. I don't know off the top of my head. I'd have to check, but I could get back to you on that.
If you do, message me and then I'll go with the movie I'm looking at right now.
Sure.
If not, I will go with the original movie I was gonna watch for today, which is a long ass fucking movie, and I really need to mentally prepare for it.
Oh, right, the one that you kind of teased me about. That yeah.
Yes, not that I am opposed to watching long movies. The thing is that for this show that we're doing, I need to carve out the time
Right.
and the mental bandwidth to do it because I won't be able to watch it during the week. I'm gonna have to watch it on a Sunday and retain that information until Thursday so that we can discuss it in detail.
You see, part of it is also. Oh yeah, I do have crime and mystery. Yes. I just part of it is I go to my letterbox because I have all my inventory for all my Blu-rays and stuff. And some of them I have, like Devil in a Blue Dress, I have a digital copy of. I don't have the physical.
Yeah.
And there's other ones that I also have here that definitely fall under mystery thriller that are uh fortunately they're digital, not physical, but I have some for sure that are big famous movies that I probably somebody like me probably should have seen a long time ago. uh
Well, the one I'm looking at right now is only 162 minutes long, so it's digestible.
okay, so it's not that okay.
It has a very interesting cover. It looks very postal. That's all I'm going to say.
It's funny, all of those genres that are like the 15-20 genres you could pick on the Voodoo app or Fandango at home, they call it. Mystery is not one of them.
Ain't that a mystery?
I guess I don't know. They have crime and thrillers, but there's no mystery tab, and all these other ones: musical, kids, superhero, but not mystery. To help sort through everything I have. That's not like the Chinatown. I don't have them physical either. I mean, I've seen the 4K for as cheap as $10 on Amazon, but I just because of my feelings about the movie, I've just never really felt compelled. uh, uh, yeah, I could find something for that. See, I'm looking right now, and if anybody in the chat wants us to talk about something, I'm not in a rush. So if you want, unless Ernesto
Yeah, I
has
got
to go.
another 15 minutes to kill.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we got some minutes to kill. We can, if anybody wants to ask us about something, go for it. Let's see here. I'm
Oh, I
looking.
will not send you nudes, so don't ask me.
Ooh, here's another one. That's a good one. See, there's a couple of the part of it is that for me picking which one is that I'm trying to anticipate what you might be referring to. And so I want to make sure I pick something that's going to be equally like amazing, but I don't know. And so it's like I gotta play it.
I think the one that I'm looking at right now is going to shock you a little bit. So
Okay. So let me see. Oh my God! I just found the perfect one that's gonna blow everybody away for me next week. I got it. I just saw it scrolling through, and you're gonna kill me when you find out. But it's gonna be great. I can't wait. It'll be my highlight of next week to get your reaction.
That's the thing, people. We don't know we're gonna be under each other's throats or go like this. But it could also be it's like, oh, I haven't seen that either. Go on.
Okay. And I'm looking
You
at it.
don't
It's a
know.
longer
You never
movie.
know.
It's a longer movie as well for me, so we'll do just one movie each next week. That seems better to do one movie instead of two for the most part, because that way we can
Well,
make
yeah,
sure the
because we can
series
keep
goes
this
on.
going for forever.
Yeah. And then in between we might do other things. And there was another interesting news story I found out today, is that despite the fact that Avatar 3 has made $1.3 billion now, James Cameron says it's still not enough to satisfy Disney to greenlight it, because they're like, these $400 million budgets or whatever is just too much money. And he says he's got to find a way to make them cheaper. And I think part of that is because even though this one made 1.3, it's only coming 3 years after the last one. So there's not going to be as much demand with just a 4-year wait for the next one. And given that this new one did not move the story forward and it was like basically rehashing the last movie, it's maybe going to turn off a lot of people. Or are they going to be as interested in turning out in droves to see a fourth Avatar movie? So now he's trying to figure out how to cut. And apparently that might be what Disney's telling him, because if they're not satisfied with 1.3 billion on a 400 budget, which theaters keeping half, assuming it finishes around 1.4, maybe 1.5, that's 700 still that they would be getting. 750 minus 400. That's still, if they spent 100 on marketing, that'd still be around $250 million profit. But I get it. So I don't know. That was kind of interesting to hear.
I found that a little like, really? How much? How? Freaking bean counters! I swear.
Well, I think
Like,
part of it is that,
but the thing is that they're going to re-release it. They're going to re-release the first one, then they'll re-release the second one. They'll still make some money off of it. They're going to make money off of it in the long run. So it's like,
yeah. Oh, thank you so much, Cam. Hey, all breezing through, hitting the like, and I got to bounce. Take it easy. Thank you so much for that. I think part of it is that yes, the studios want these movies to break even, of course, and they want it to be profitable. And I think part of it is that if you're going to release a movie in like December or summer, you don't want to just break even or barely turn a profit. You want a big profit margin for your shareholders and to invest in other movies. And granted, as I just mentioned, if Avatar 3 finishes it, well, it's at 1.3 now. It maybe I don't know if it'll get to 1.5, but if it gets to 1.5, then that would be 350 after subtracting the budget and the production budget and that. And I don't know how much they spend on marketing. That's why I estimated 250, but that's if it gets up to that. But it's like, I mean, 250 to me seems like a huge profit for $250 billion. But if they have to invest that plus an additional 150 million in the budget for the next one, then maybe it's not as wise of an investment.
yeah, but I don't know. I feel like it's worth it finishing it off because then you have it completed, and then you're if they play it right and they space them out just fine, because we both know that the second one made 2 billion because of how long from the first one. So it was
Yep.
basically an event movie.
Right.
The first one was an accidental event. The second one was the event because holy crap, how long has it been since the first one? But now that you're releasing the sequels 2 or 3 years in between, then you just have to get a little bit smarter in how you market it, and you have to get a little bit smarter in how you position it, because if Disney's going to keep their tried and true formula of releasing their movies the way they have been for the last 15 years, they either need to space them out a little bit more, or they really need to make them like you've got to see it.
Yeah.
And also,
Nice.
let's be fair about this. You're not going to see a lot of movies that look like Avatar, visually speaking.
Right. I think the first one wasn't an accidental thing because, I mean, this was his follow-up to Titanic, you know? I mean, yeah, he did some documentaries in between, but it's like James Cameron is back, baby. People were
Yeah,
waiting
but
for him to
nobody
come
was
back.
expecting the legs.
What?
Like it morphed into an event, but it didn't feel like an event until it arrived.
Oh, okay, yeah. Old Man Bird says, when you said what movies should you have watched, I was gonna say Avatar. Have seen any of them. I've seen all three of them. The first one I saw in IMAX, but we were sitting in the second row all the way over on the left, and 3D wasn't working in the corners, and the corner of an IMAX screen is huge. So looking straight ahead, it's like it wasn't working. It was almost like a big ring where the IMAX where the 3D effect is working when you're that far down on the side of the screen. So, but it was still kind of impressive. Avatar 2 I saw in the regular theater with 3D though, and it was the best 3D I'd ever seen. Same with Avatar 3. But I mean, as far as blowing me, yeah, he said Old Man Bird says he laughed when Critical Drinker called Fire and Ash tired and as. I mean, he's not entirely wrong, because this movie was just this third one was very much repeating the second movie, and James Cameron basically copy pasted the entire climax of Way of Water. And
Yeah,
Fire and Ash, I think
I'm
you're
not
just
denying that. Yeah.
yeah, and Fire and Ash, I think you're justified in thinking, cool, we're gonna see actual fire and ash. And like the first movie, you get the rainforests and the floating mountains, and the sequel, you get the oceans and the coastline. So when you call a movie Fire and Ash, and you mention that, oh, part of the lore is a volcano erupted and destroyed this whole Navi village, you're kind of justified in thinking, cool, we're gonna see all the volcanoes and
Yeah,
the fire
but
and all that kind of stuff.
yeah, but I wouldn't go as far as calling it ass. And the critical
Well,
drinker
yeah,
makes his money off of rhetoric. So
that's true. But
all due respect to the drinker, I am subscribed to him. But lately he's been a fucking sourpuss more than usual.
I found him always that way. But anyway, I kind of I mean, I think that Fire and Ash is paced better than Way of Water. And if I had to pick between the two of them, I like Fire and Ash better, because at least you throw in the Ash tribe, and Way of Water was slower and not as exciting. But again, it felt more of the same. And I wonder if that has anything to do with why this movie doesn't look like it's going to have the legs that Avatar 2 and Avatar 3 did, or Avatar 1 and Avatar 2 did. Because the next one's.
It's only been 4 weeks.
I know, but a lot of theaters are already dropping it from the
And it's
3D
still
screen.
number one. And it's still number one. It's
Yeah,
not losing.
we'll see how it goes. The next one is due out in December 2029 if Disney greenlights it, and then December 2031
Yeah.
for the fifth one, which I don't know. We'll
Honestly,
see.
the movie ending at 1.5, 1.6 is really pop your champagne bottles. Yeah.
Oh, they will, and if it gets that high, I think they'll be happier. But if they can bring down the $400 million production budget, and all of that, of course, is coming from rendering, because
Oh yeah.
rendering is
I mean,
just
they already filmed. They already filmed everything. They just have to render the goddamn last two movies.
Yeah, nothing against James Cameron or Linda Hamilton for that matter. Oh yeah, I love Linda Hamilton. I remember she was up front.
I think Old Man Bird was basically answering your question. What movie hasn't he seen? And he hasn't seen any of them.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, you haven't seen any of them. Okay, have seen any of them. Oh, it's a type. Okay, I see what you meant now. Yeah. The first one I thought was, yeah, it is Dances with Wolves in Space. Part of that kind of bugged me, like, because in the movie, I can't remember the character's name for the life of me, but Neytiri had another suitor.
Neytiri.
Neytiri, and he's another native Na'vi, not an Avatar Na'vi. And he had the right idea about what they should be doing to the RDA from the beginning. But much like those types of movies go, we have to shoot down or poo-poo the guy who's got the right idea, who's actually representing the natives. And we have to listen to what the white guy, a human, says. I'm like, this is so bad, because they've done this so many times in other movies. It's always bugged me.
But he's not Toruk Mato.
Yeah, exactly. And how Jake is constantly like the Colonel Korich literally gives Jake a mission and uses terminology like spying on the enemy and things like that. And every time Jake jacks out of his avatar, he goes over to Korich's office, gives him all the information. And it's like, clearly this guy didn't come to break bread with the natives. And yet Jake acts surprised when the shit hits the fan. It's like, dude, you've literally been carrying out a secret mission on behalf of your military superiors to gather information on the enemy to launch an attack. What the hell are you talking about? You're so surprised. And that just type of stupidity for a protagonist just really bugs me. Kind of like in Get Out. I mean, I know the point of the movie being called Get Out is that you're screaming at the guy to get out. But usually in movies like that, the protagonist doesn't realize they're in danger, which is why you're screaming at him to get out. But in that movie, it was so obvious to him so early on. I got to a point where I almost stopped rooting for him, because I'm like, dude, just fucking walk away. They're not gonna kill your girlfriend. Just walk the fuck away, and you'll be fine. But there's a limit to how done. And then the sequel, Avatar: Way of Water, Jake finds out that Korich is back, genocidal maniac. Oh, I'll just move further away. It's like, what, you don't think this guy's going to go scorched earth to find you? Of course he is. And then Jake acts surprised when Korich went scorched earth to find him on the other side of the planet. It's just like, It just
Why so blue?
yeah, a dim-witted protagonist and one-dimensional characters. And in the third movie, especially, Spider was bugging me because his dialogue was just so god awful. I just could not stand. Uh, I mean, that almost makes me. I guess on rewatch, I've seen Avatar 3 twice now, and I guess I should go back and watch Way of Water again because I don't remember Spider being that annoying in Way of Water compared to this one.
I don't think he was annoying, but that's just me.
Yeah, I just his dialogue and everything was just like I can't.
You just don't like the fact that he kept saying "bro." That just say it. Just say you don't like the fact that he was saying "bro."
It just yeah, but that's part of it. And holy shit! Every few minutes, and hey guys, talk about. It's like, oh my god, this is. It's like hey buttholes. I'm like, did he really just say that? I'm like, it's just so bad.
Well, he's a teenager. I mean, come
I
on.
know, but it's still
He's a
it's
teenager. He's a teenager. They say stupid shit all the time.
yeah, I know, but it's like, come
He's
on.
not exactly valedictorian, cat.
There was a couple moments in the third movie where they had an opportunity to really push it, and then they chickened out each time. So I was like, but
I
the-
get lost in them, honestly, and that works for me. Like,
mm,
I know what I'm getting, and and Cameron does a very good job of letting me just get lost in Pandora, and
mm.
that is right up my alley.
All right.
You know, I'm
Uh,
surprised he hasn't made callbacks in these movies yet. I'm surprised with all the creatures he's created that he hasn't created like a Pandora version of a piranha. Surprised we haven't had a piranha version. I mean, we have a wolf lion. We have the titanosaur that are basically elephants, rhino things. You have the whales that are basically blue whales, essentially. You know, the one thing that I found completely off-putting, even though it was beautifully designed,
mm,
the the air tribe.
right.
They almost felt like they did not belong at all anywhere in this movie because and I think when you and I were offline, we were talking about that. I don't know if I mentioned it, but the way the captain, I guess, who's in charge of
Yeah,
the
David
trade
Thewlis.
and everything, the way he was talking, his form of speaking was more modern, more exposed to modern dialect than the rest of the tribes. And I'm just like, wait a minute. The way you're talking is and he's talking with a New Zealand accent, by the way. So I'm just like, wait, why do you sound New Zealander when your tribe sounds like they're not from New Zealand? Hell, they have a New Zealand actor playing the chief of the water tribe, and he's talking with a tribal accent that they're giving him. But then you have the air guy where he sounds like he was already colonized at some point, and he's talking perfect English.
Yeah, because they got David Thewlis to play that role, the leader of the Wind Traders.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, wait, this is a little weird. Like, this does
And
not belong here.
I know his character is coming back in Avatar 4 and 5, but it's like, or at least Avatar 4, but they kind of left that plot point unresolved where it's like the fire tribe, the ash tribe attacks, shoots him out of the sky, and it's like, wait, what happened to him? They never bring him up again. He's just
Well, if they bring
gone.
him back, then they're gonna pretty much kamikaze their way into the next movie. I'm guessing.
Yeah.
I can totally see those things just like because they're basically a version of what's it called a hydrogen
Yeah.
form of travel. So I can see that being a weaponized
Yeah,
in the
like
sequels.
dirigibles. Yeah.
Exactly.
But you're right. Old Man Bird, nothing against James Cameron or Linda Hamilton. It's like, as much as we don't need to inflate James Cameron's ego any more than it's already inflated, I would say Linda Hamilton's great.
But
She,
she was brought in for the final season of Stranger Things, and she was completely wasted potential in that.
I remember she was up front during the marketing for Terminator Dark Fate saying that, yeah, this is supposed to be the start of a new trilogy if it succeeds, but she's like, I'm not coming back because it was really a lot tougher than. She's like, yeah, it was fun, but no. And I'm like, I'm glad that she's like upfront about that and honest and not going to say something stupid like, oh,
Yeah.
like actors always say creative difference. I've always just like, no, it was tough and I had fun with it, but you know what? I don't need to do this again. It's like, which is fine because they don't need to keep repeating the Terminator 2 storyline over and over again ad nauseum for
I
that
think
franchise.
I think Dark Fate really killed it.
Yeah, I thought it was better, a lot better than Genesis. but it was still more of the same.
Yeah, I'm like, nah. That really soured. I mean, Genesis was bad. Don't get me wrong, but Dark Fate was like,
Yeah, the Abercrombie and Fitch mascot catalog guy going after everybody is the bad Terminator. I'm like, what?
mhm,
Well,
mhm,
I guess we're
mhm.
nearing. I think it's that special time. Thank you to everybody in the chat. Old Man Bird, Cam Cam, Lemon Pie, and DJ Plain Ice. I always blank on the name. Yes, yes. So you guys, great that you guys showed up. Thanks again, Old Man Bird, for the lovely super sticker. That was amazing. Keep the lights on for us all. And Ernesto and I will be back next week. Is good? Or
Yeah, next Thursday's fine.
all right, next Thursday, same time, same place, with episode 3 of From the Pile, and covering
Indeed.
our other news stuff. And keep us on our toes, because Ernesto and I are also supposed to do. I keep forgetting about it, but we're going to do a Batman comic show. Uh, and we can interchange 1 week on, 1 week off, like 1 week From the Pile, and then another week Batman. I just keep forgetting to bring it up, and I have the thumbnail ready and everything. But yeah, so we'll do that. And
Well, I
thanks
mean,
everybody for coming.
we can try. We not for this one, but for the week after, we can do our first Batman show.
That's a good idea. Yeah, give us some time
Like,
so we're not under
that way
pressure to
we
watch
can,
it.
rinse the palette, keep it fresh.
Yeah, yeah. So that way we don't have to put our pressure ourselves to get a new movie every week. But all right, Ernesto and I will be back next week, and
Yep. As they used
same
to
time.
say growing up at the TV shows, tune in next time on Fantasmagorium Z.